It is Saturday night, and you know just what the freak that means. It is time, once again, for the usual suspects. I am Aaron. You know me from Fourzze FX, Saber Sounds, Saber Designs, whatever you want to call me. You can find my work and the work of many others on repulsecollectibles.com. I'd like to welcome you to our live stream tonight. If you are watching from my Fourzze FX business page from the first time, I've been doing this for months. This is every other Saturday night. I have a whole group of friends who I love. They're brothers and sisters to me. They're amazing folks. And we've just got the best friendship. And just like Jeff Birch says, man, we just nerd up. It's exactly what we do. If you're watching from the Lightsaber Sanctuary page, then this is the first night you're going to see the usual suspects on the page. So anybody in there is welcome to join and just kind of chill and hang out with us. And of course, if you're on my channel on YouTube, the Fourzze Effect, you know the drill. So we've got... I'm sorry, y'all. I'm like really excited for tonight because there's a lot going on, and I got just a fantastic lineup of folks here. So I'm going to start the ball. I'm going to bring in my co-host. Y'all know him. It is Shadow Tech Sabers, my boy Aaron. What is cooking, dude? And guess what? Hold on. Guess what?
Oh yeah. So if I may, real quick, a lot of the usual suspects that we're gonna have in here tonight. Mike, Preston. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get Jeff's to him in time for tonight. But other than that, everyone else that's here, me and Aaron, we're going to be wearing the first Shadow Tech Sabers t-shirts. And also, because I haven't made this publicly known yet, I have my own Shapeways stored now. So I'm going to be 3D designing and uploading various chassis for sabers, and even just various other little props. I've got a lot of cool stuff cooking, so stay tuned.
Absolutely. And Aaron, don't forget, now because we're on the Fourzze FX page and we're also streaming this live to the Lightsaber Sanctuary page, feel free to go into the comments section of the Lightsaber Sanctuary page and post your link to the Shapeways store. Also throw it up in the private chat, and I'll put it up here as a banner so that everybody can copy it into their spot and do what it is they need to do. The next suspect I'm going to bring on, y'all know him, Syndicate Custom Relics. Y'all know Preston. What is up, dude?
What up?
Yo, so what you wearing, bro?
But you already know. Woo!
Yeah.
Gotta
we are rocking. Dude, we are rocking the merch. Fantastic. And you know, it is always a great thing, and I'm happy to be able to start this at an earlier time because I get to bring in my dear friends and brothers from the UK. We have Jim from Fulcrum and the Force.
Yo.
How are you, man? Thank you so much for joining. It's always an honor to have you here.
Oh no, I'm really pleased that you kind of brought it even earlier for me. So I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to go for ages. I'm not rocking one of the Shadow Tech t-shirts. I'm sorry. I'm rocking the new Fulcrum and the Force 80s style t-shirt.
Yes.
You know, when you've got your own merch, you do have to kind of rep it a little bit. But I'm loving those t-shirts. They look awesome.
Now, Jim,
hey,
don't hesitate to throw a link to your merch store so that people can go and get your Fulcrum merch, because that is a must.
I've got a couple of new 80s designs up on there. I just decided to go 80s up full on because I'm an 80s kid, so why not? Huh?
So those of you guys who are new to the stream tonight, if you're coming at us from a different Facebook page, what we do is we take the first hour and we give our special guest for the night not just the 15 minutes of fame. No. We give him the full hour. It's all his. The folks on the screen are going to ask questions, and then we give the comment section the ability to ask their questions. And then the last minutes that he has, this gentleman is able to take the floor and speak to his business however it is he wants to. But before I bring him in, I'm going to bring in the owner, the proprietor, the OG, the veteran, Link. from Repulse Collectibles.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, man. You doing all
Trying
right?
to get the no, everything's good. I'm trying to get my stuff set up here.
I would just like to bring attention to this gentleman's unbelievably insane neon lights in the background, and his arcade cabinet he's sporting today.
Yeah, the cabinet is pretty crazy, man.
That's amazing.
You got to be kidding me. Oh my god. All right. I can't waste any more time. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor, it is my privilege, and I would like to thank Link personally for introducing me to this gentleman. He is an awesome, awesome dude, a great serviceman to our Saber community. I would like to welcome Jordan from Ebenhawk Armory. What's up, dude?
Yo.
Hi there. Thank you for the awesome intro. Thank you so much. I'm very humbled to be on the show. I'm so excited to be here. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hell yeah, man.
Good, man.
Good to be here.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Jordan, we're going to get started. Each of us on the screen are going to ask you one question, and then we're going to give the comments section here tonight the ability to ask their questions. You can address them, and you can address pretty much the rest of the Saber community. And then we're going to give you the floor until the end of your hour. Now since I've killed a few minutes of the intro, we're going to kind of roll over with your guest time. So your hour starts now. Real quick, we're just going to say hello to. We're going to say hey to Liam. We're going to say hey to Izzy, Chris. Let's see. Oh, Will's in the house tonight. And, of course, you got to love it when Cheeto is in the house. So, all good things. All right. Link, since you were the guy behind this madness, why don't you go first?
No, yeah, man. Jordan, good to have you finally on the show. I was really, when I went to the convention with you, I kept saying to myself, man, I gotta talk to Aaron and get him on here, man. This is, it's a fun show. It's a fun time, and it's just good exposure for vendors and community members, and anybody that does something for the community. The show's really big about that kind of stuff. So it's great to have you on finally, and I'm glad I could make it. I wasn't sure because of work schedule, but so I like to ask kind of off the wall questions, but I'll kind of keep more traditional. Like, so when it comes to Star Wars, what's the thing or character or idea about Star Wars that really just got you hooked? You're like, I'm in this. I'm hooked. And what was that for you?
That is a hard question, but it's a good one. I think it was the whole idea. When you watch two characters fight on the screen, the strongest one is not necessarily going to win. I like the idea that, there's factors, there's, you can think with your head, and, they'll find ways to overcome their adversity without totally losing their head and getting angry and doing things like that. They have to use their intellect, their finesse to make it through whatever situation that they're through. Darth Vader and Emperor on the screen, Luke's sitting there. There's no way he's going to win, but he finds a way to pull out the victory. For me, I mean, that's just, I don't know. It's what definitely got me hooked.
Nice, man. No, and then that's actually a really cool answer. I really like that because I mean, I like that everybody's answer to those questions are different, and I really like that answer because you're right. In Star Wars, especially the original trilogy, they wrote it. George Lucas wrote it in such a way that you had those dynamics between the characters where you really. If it was your first time watching it, you didn't know which way it was going to go. I mean, so
you got to wonder if kind of like his directing strategy, if he's got a D20 or something whenever he's writing his script.
Yeah. And then I suppose the next question is, when it comes to Ebon Hawk Armory, and I don't know if Fourzze, if we're going to get into this directly or not, but tell us, I guess I want to know, like, what's your main service? Is it just sabers? I know personally, I know you get into sound fonts as well, and what is your main pitch if you were going to tell somebody, hey, someone's just meeting Ebon Hawk Armory for the first time, what all do you offer?
Well, my place in the community is the jack of all trades, I think. I've learned a little bit, especially from learning from the best of the best in the community right now. For example, when I was etching, I was watching Vault of Valhalla, as he showcased those guys, learning to try to pick up little tricks that they had. And everybody in the Saber community is so helpful. If you want to learn a skill, if you wanted to go learn powder coating, I could talk to Red Fox and he would, have no problem talking to me, giving me tips. It's crazy. Just the amount of support, the videos that are out there to help you learn. If you want to learn Profi, if you want to learn Golden Harvest, all that is right there at your fingertips, and there are incredible people out there who will help you with it. But back to what makes my company a little bit different. I do a little bit of all of it. I don't know of a whole lot of places that will sell you a saber, put fonts on it, make custom fonts, and even, etch your saber for you, make your chassis, install it, do everything from start to finish. The only thing I don't do is fabrication. Still working on getting toward that goal. I've got a couple ideas in mind, expanding that way. But yeah, I mean, it's very rare that you can go to an installer. The best ones I can think of off the top of my head, I could ask them to install, but I feel like I would be stepping over the bounds to be like, hey man, can you install this font, this font, this font, and do it with this blade style? And for me, that's not an issue. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. We'll take care of that for you. Do you want a crystal chamber on there? Do you want me to make it pulse or whatever? And then, they go from there and they tell me, okay, I want the Mortal Kombat logo etched on my saber. Not a problem. Let's figure it out.
Nice, man. That's fantastic. And you're right. There's not a whole lot of vendors that will, offer kind of the A to Z process, if you will. So that's a really good thing to know.
Awesome.
And it's like the community's. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the community's been so awesome to me as far as getting people connected and people working together. If there's something I can't do, I usually know somebody who can. So it's really cool how we can all just kind of work together. Somebody asked me, who makes the best katana saber? Having never met them in my life, I'd be like, yeah, like, you could go to Stock, you could go to Darth Alice, you could go to all these different places, Ignition, or Mercury, is that what it's called? I might be mixing up my names of their saber and their company there. But anyway, you could just go to all these different places. I've never met these people before, but I can get a saber from them and get my customers' wishes figured out from the beginning,
Nice.
Awesome, dude. Well, before we move to the next question, I just want to give a shout here and let folks know that the leader, the king, the emperor himself of the Lightsaber Sanctuary has made his way into the usual suspects. Y'all say hello to Aaron Combs. What's up, dude?
How's it going?
What's up, buddy?
We got everybody tuned in
Good to
tonight,
see you
man.
guys.
So we got the page on, we got my page on, we got the YouTube up. So, we have if you don't mind, Aaron, if you can keep your eyes on the comment section of the Lightsaber Sanctuary.
Yes.
And co-host, if you can watch the YouTube comments. That way we're rocking on all fronts. So next, I'm gonna throw the gavel on over to Jim, see what he's got to ask.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, don't ask me next. I've got to have a good question. I'm going to keep it simple. A, that's amazing. You don't have to put me big screen. What are you doing? A, that's amazing. You're right. There's very few people out there that will do stuff from start to finish, so that's incredible. But I'm going to keep it nice and simple. Favorite hilt, favorite character.
Favorite hilt, favorite character. Okay. Well, my favorite hilt is definitely the Obi-Wan 4. My favorite iteration of that is a saber that can only be purchased empty at this time. It's by One Replicas. It's they make kind of stunt versions that are like fight friendly. They have like a thicker neck here, but it's still pretty good, accurate representation of the hilt. I just love like all the different little parts that they used in the old movies. Like they used like a grenade section off of a rifle. a knob for a sink, and like a camera accessory right here. It's just crazy the things that they came up with on set. And back in that time, before lightsabers were a thing, before anybody even thought that the two different characters would have two different hilts, these guys were just getting so in depth, and they were bringing George Lucas these pieces of artwork, and he was like, "Yeah, I want that one," or "No, I don't want that one." And it was just, it's crazy to me that they could just come up with that on the fly with no prior influence, or, you know, they were paving the way. You know, they were the pioneers of it. As far as my favorite character goes, if you'd asked me 10 years ago, I'd have said Starkiller, because he's like the most powerful and the strongest and all that fun stuff. And yeah, I do keep one of my Starkiller hilts. This is actually my favorite hilt to use, especially during, like, you know, saber practice or hitting together, stuff like that. But now I would say that my favorite character in Star Wars probably be Ahsoka. I mean, I really like the transformation of a character, and the way that we got a character arc for her where we unanimously as a community hated her when she first came onto the screen during her movie, to becoming the most popular character in Star Wars at this time, barring maybe Luke Skywalker. Yeah, I love that. I love to see a redemption story.
I'm with you 100% on that. I couldn't agree more. She's one of the best.
And I would love her hilt, but it's such a pain to install.
It's because what the Fulcrum hilts, or the Clone Wars, because they're
Yes.
kind of semi-curved, aren't they? So do you actually use your sabers? Do you do like proper
Absolutely
sparring?
So
Nice.
I usually try to meet up with the group in my area. There's a few of them. Try to get together and spar with them once a week, so that, you know, I can honestly say, like, if I can trust that a saber design, if I'm hitting my sabers together every week, then I've got to be doing something right as far as the durability aspect goes. There's definitely some learning curves to where when you're installing a saber and you take it out to practice and it messes up on you in front of like 20 people, you get that right pretty quick. You figure it out. I feel like anytime you have a saber break in front of a bunch of people, it's like they're judging you. So you need to definitely figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I've done some over here in the UK. We actually have it's like a group that's actually set up to train people how to fight properly. The guy who runs it was a master swordsman, and he used to train people to use swords. And then obviously people are like, "Oh, we don't want to learn how to play with swords." And they're like, "What if it was a lightsaber?" And all of a sudden everybody's like, "Here's my money." And
yes,
so
exactly.
we all just get together, and there's like a group of like 20 people just properly learning, like, from a master swordsman how to use it. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they have to be, when you're doing that, they have to be durable. That's why thin necks,
Absolutely.
I'm always just like, I'm not taking that out.
Yeah, that's why I like those one replicas thin necks. They're nice and thick, and you can hit them together and they don't shake like a normal thin neck does.
Yeah.
Like it might be holding, but you feel the unsturdiness of it whenever you hit it together.
Yeah, I'm with you. Nice.
Excellent. Co-host, I'm throwing it to you next. Put the pizza down.
Hey, let him enjoy his food, bro.
No, it's
gonna
game time,
put this
brother.
on screen while you're talking.
No, it's okay. I knew this was coming. First off, Jordan, it's nice to meet you. Finally be able to put face to a name. And actually, earlier this morning, I bought 2 of your D-ring / cover tech belt clips. So
okay.
All
right. I get to tell on myself and be good here. Anytime I see orders, I process them pretty quick. These are your 2 belt clips right here. They're packaged up and ready to go. The coolest thing about my schedule, my primary job, I'm a firefighter and a paramedic. I work every 3rd day. So the 2 days that I'm not firefighting, I can be working on sabers. And that's one of the coolest jobs ever to me. I mean, how people get to go fight a fire, go inside a burning building, and then come back out the next day, and they get to play lightsabers all day. I mean, I've got the two coolest jobs ever.
No doubt.
It's cooler than my
But
job,
yeah,
anyway.
so real quick before my question, just want to say I found out about your store not too long ago. I've heard people talking about it. I was like, you know what, I'll check them out. And those D-ring cover tech clips really caught my eye because I hadn't seen anyone combine the two forms in one product before. So really excited to get those. As for my question. Let's see. What is your favorite blade color?
My favorite blade color. Not to be like too extra, but I like the cyan color, like the really light blue. I don't like the dark blue as much that we saw in the prequels. Or Rey's blade in the snow. I liked her blade in Last Jedi in the throne room scene. Isn't it funny how it changes from movie to movie? I think it has something to do with the ambient lighting is what they're trying to tell us, but I definitely like the cyan, like the Star Killer cyan.
Nice.
We call that the farm boy Luke.
Heck yeah.
Yes.
That's a good one.
That is good. All right, Mr. Lightsaber Sanctuary, your turn.
So I'm not gonna lie, I feel kind of dumb. I have never actually heard about Ebenhawk Armory before until just recently. So I'm like Googling and on your Etsy page and Facebook page and all that, just kind of looking at what you do. You make some really cool stuff, man.
So there's a good reason for that. I've only been around in business for about a year now.
Okay.
This December, we're going to complete our first year. I was in the
well,
community
congratulations.
just under my regular name, just as Jordan, just learning and trying to figure out what I wanted to do as far as, do I want to try to do everything? Do I just want to do fonts? Do I want to install? And I was like, yeah, I want to do it all. But
One-stop
yeah,
shop. I like it.
It's been crazy the last year. Yep.
Good deal, man. Just yeah, glad you're here. I don't really have
Did I answer a question? Did I miss a question there?
No, I don't really have one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, my default is kind of, what's your favorite hilt or what's your favorite character, but that's kind of already been
Sorry.
taken. So
It's all right.
way to go,
Nice.
Jim.
I
Okay. Well,
ruined
my
everything.
favorite. Can I think of a question for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's talk about favorite spaceship in Star Wars.
Proactive.
And
Ebenhawk,
for me,
I would
it is
probably.
yeah. The Ebenhawk is one of my favorites, one of the top ones. But the one I was going to highlight was Slave One when it was all blue and silver. When you got it in the Star Wars Bounty Hunter game. We'll talk about some nostalgia right there. But yeah,
Nice.
breaking it out of the prison was the best level.
Good deal.
Man who knows his games.
Surprisingly, I'd have to
It's a
say
worthy guest indeed.
I'd have to say the Naboo Starfighter is probably one of my favorite ships of the game. It's so sleek. The colors are awesome. Just that yellow and shiny silver. Yeah.
And
I've always
seeing the
liked
Naboo Starfighter still puts me back in that movie theater at
Yep.
I'm telling myself how old I am here, 9 or 10 years old, whenever you
Right.
saw Darth Maul sabers come out for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
The Star Destroyers are always just for me, man. The one that just sticks out. The big flying
was gonna
Doritos,
say-
man. That's Empire Strikes Back. They're all just, and you get the Vader theme. I'm like, something about the Star Destroyer, man. It's just I can't.
Is there one behind you?
The Millennium Falcon is what's that?
Is there one behind you underneath your sign?
Oh no, that's just crap. Don't worry about that.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah. But no,
I thought it was a Millennium Falcon
The
behind
Imperial
you.
Star Destroyers are really, I really did like Kylo Ren's ship from what is it, 7? And then I think the second sister ship is very similar to Kylo Ren's ship. I think is it the same? I think it's
not exactly.
it's
the same.
similar
It's
though,
ever
right?
so slightly
I
different.
like
yeah.
those really sleek, the way they did that. It's almost like stealth tech or something. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Preston,
I
are you among us?
I love the Imperial shuttles. They're my things. Like any ships with a sail. So Krennic shuttle as well. I love them when the wings come down. Incredible. Sorry,
I like the cargo shuttles more than the personnel shuttles. The ones that are a little bit longer and
yeah.
like they look beefy. Yeah, I think those are always really cool.
Hey, and shout out to the ship in Fallen Order that Cal's on, Grease's ship. I forget the name of it,
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's
The
actually
Mantis.
The Mantis.
the Mantis.
The
Yeah, yeah,
Mantis.
that's a
The
cool
way that,
ship,
that
dude.
spins round as well.
Yes,
Yes.
that is a
Like,
cool ship.
yeah.
Nobody's given a shout out to Dooku's reverse parachute ship. What
The
about
light
that?
sail thing.
His solar sail.
Yeah. Oh,
You
like,
know,
weird how
I
that
like
never
it when
came
they go
back,
out on the
isn't
limb and I like it when they try something new. But,
Yeah, but
I didn't like that one.
it kills me though because it poofs out like a parachute, and you think it would slowly come this way. No, it full speed goes that way.
In a
So-
space vacuum.
It's
Yep.
so weird. So, Preston, where are you? You still with us? The heck is he? Because it's his turn. Darn. That's all right. He'll get back in here and he'll get his. He'll get his. All right, my turn.
Okay, well, okay.
So, gosh, I don't normally ask this. Given that we are, and it honestly depends upon the part of the world you're in and even what state you're in if you're in the United States. Given that things are starting to improve, that folks are getting out of their house, they're getting back to work. It's starting to not be so everybody's at home, everybody's working from home. I mean, folks are getting out again. What is your 2-year plan moving forward with your company?
Okay, 2-year plan. Here in the next year, I'm going to be definitely doing my own hilt. I want to come up with a design in CAD and go ahead and have that CNC'd and figured out. And I want to have my own exclusive hilt that no one else has, that I can produce in mass for an affordable price and get that going. And then also, we'll probably be looking at doing some kind of shop here in the next year and a half. I've almost outgrown the spare bedroom that we're hiding out in right now. We've got shelves and shelves of sabers, and I need to have more room to store more. So that'd be really cool. That and moving the resin printer inside into a ventilated system would be super cool. Right now it's sitting out in the garage.
Excellent, dude. I appreciate it. I would like to give the comment section, if all of you are listening, I would like to give the comment section the opportunity to go ahead and post your question to Jordan. Right now, I'll give you guys 30 seconds to come up with something. In the meantime, Preston's back. Hey, dude, what's your question for Jordan?
Oh, you didn't have to do that. Mine's simple. What's your favorite villain?
Favorite villain.
Oh,
That's a
it
good
don't
one.
matter if it's canon, legends. I don't care if it's from a book, a game, a movie. I don't care. Just favorite villain of ever.
I want to think about that hard because I want to give the easy answer. And Vader. I mean, Vader's the easy answer. Yeah, I mean, he's just so iconic, so cool. Who else can you hear his breath and know immediately without seeing anything? Like that's who's there. Like
That's true.
that moment. And spoiler alert if you're not privy to the ending of Fallen Order. So that moment where you're sitting there in the game going, okay, yeah, we're playing as a kind of a C-list character. We just beat up Second Sister. Cool. What am I gonna get for the ending of my game?
You're right.
Chills. Just
Yeah.
I mean, Star Wars has nailed that lately. When we saw an X-wing fly in at the end of Mandalorian, chills. You knew from one little thing. I mean, Vader is the epitome of that. He's iconic. But if you want to get, I can't even remember that guy's name. Favorite obscure villain would have to be Komoribosa. She was crazy evil looking. She was the boss of Star Wars Bounty Hunter. She was the fallen apprentice of the Jedi Count Dooku. And she was the original owner of Asajj Ventress's weapons. And she was hot. I mean, she just looked awesome. Yeah. And Yeah, she was fun. It was a fun boss battle. She didn't feel overpowered. It felt like a rewarding win when you beat her. And she kind of had like this witchy Night Sister vibe before Night Sisters were really a well-known thing.
Nice.
Excellent.
Cool, man.
Thanks, dude. Well, our next suspect has jumped into the stream, and we got the Ninja Jedi Order. We got Mike in the house. What's up, dude?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Still muted.
Oh,
What about now?
There it
there
is.
you go.
Hey, that's a nice shirt, bro. Where'd you get it?
I don't know. I picked it up somewhere.
Real quick,
What's up, guys?
Mine came from the mailman.
Yeah, nice.
As did mine.
I don't have
He
the
delivered
ability
me a
to post in the private chat. I'm going to go ahead and put the link for the shop. The comment
I got
section
you.
is asking for it.
I got
Yes.
you, Jordan.
By all means, please. And we've got you covered on each page as well. Mike, while we're here, before we get to
Yep.
the comments section, what is your question?
Okay, so I guess stop me if it's been asked, but I guess I'll go with like, what's your go-to lightsaber color?
No.
Been there.
Been there,
Next.
done that.
Go-to
Simpsons did it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry. We did favorite character,
Cyan?
favorite
Was it
ship,
Cyan?
favorite villain. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Like that 1970s blue, not the dark
Okay.
blue.
What
Farm
about
Boy
like
Blue.
most iconic moment, and that basically got you even more interested into Star Wars, like or the first.
Oh, that's
time
easy.
interested.
That's easy. Those chill moments, you know? The most dramatic favorite moment ever in Star Wars, Ahsoka. Like, I loved that moment.
Yes.
Where Darth Vader
Yeah.
started to sound like Anakin Skywalker for a moment, and Ahsoka's heart broke as she realized 100% sure, without a doubt, that Anakin Skywalker was Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yep. And then his eye changed back to, I think, Sith yellow.
Then you will die.
Yep.
Oh, and that's my favorite quote.
I put that on.
sure.
I put that
Anytime I
on
do it.
like 2 of my fonts, man. I had to.
Mhm.
Nice.
Had to get it done. That's awesome. Well,
Cool, man. Thanks.
without any further delay, why don't we get into the comments section and get these questions answered here? Cole, I believe, had the first question, as Cole does. Cole asks, Jordan, what are you most excited about to add to your store?
Is the question? I guess I can answer that both ways. About to add soon in the very near
No,
future
wait.
would be.
What are you most excited about? Like, what excites you the most to add to your
Oh,
store?
okay. Definitely when I put a new font out, or whenever I build a saber randomly. Whenever I've got no customer in mind, I build it because I want to, and then I just put it on there and see how it does. I do that regularly with KY Star Killers and Jedi Killers. I do that every once in a while with the one replicas. I'm working on one of their Vaders right now. What else? And then just every once in a while, I'll just, I'll find some Saber Forge scratch and dent parts and throw them together and build something fun and original.
Nice. All right, and then we got Will from Dark Alliance Customs. He's asking, is there one particular scene in any one of the Star Wars films that is your most favorite scene of all time? So I guess we're going to the films.
Oh, in the films? When Luke probably stood up to Vader the first time in Empire and he lost. And
Yeah,
keep in
that's
mind,
always a good one.
I didn't watch them when they first came out, but I mean, first time watching it and you're like, what? The hero loses? It was like a good subverted expectation. There's a good and a bad way to do it, and I won't get into that right now, but they did it well. And, you were excited to hear the next chapter. It was, like whenever you're reading to your kids or, somebody's playing Dungeons and Dragons and they end on a cliffhanger and you're just like, wait, I want to know what happens next. I love that.
That's next week. Anybody else in the comment section have anything they want to ask Jordan? Anything at all? Cole. Oh, Lord. You gotta love it when Cole's in the chat. He just makes everything nice and a nice sunny day in our stream. He really does.
Cole just makes everything better.
So he totally
no matter
does.
what.
Yellow.
Cheeto asks, Jordan, have you installed the Xenopixel V2 board, and if so, what do you think of it?
Okay. So Xenopixel is something I definitely want to talk about tonight. It's a new board. It's an alternative to some of the more expensive options like Profi and CFX and stuff like that. It's an awesome board. It's got a couple of features that are missing from it and a couple of things I like about it better than the other ones, than the more expensive boards. It's a little easier to navigate. It's a little bit more intuitive. Some of the things you might miss from it, there's no accent swings at the moment. So like when you're swinging a saber and it goes wah, 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 and whenever you do like a sudden movement, the Xeno doesn't have that yet, but it could be something installed in the near future. I'm helping to develop some of the sounds for that. Most of my efforts on the Xeno dev team help to where I'm coming up with the sounds for stuff. I'm trying to match the effects to the sounds and come up with new effects for that. And when I'm making my fonts now, I'm trying to make sure that, if I have a pre-on or something like that, it matches the Xeno. And I've also come up with some new menu options for it as well.
That's excellent. That is excellent.
There's our
Very good.
Xenopixel guy right here.
Yup. And real quick, I'm gonna throw out a quick little font maker tip here. So when you're developing Smooth Swing, especially if when you have a board like this that doesn't do the accent yet, one real nice tip that you can take from me here is if you take a regular swing, right, you can elongate that swing like with an elastique tool and blend that in with your smooth swing so that it kind of has it kind of brings the faster motion and then stretches into the slower motion. So instead of like a roam, you could have a roam, kind of like on my sequel villain font. That does that, and it's a cool little trick I employ, and it works very, very well, especially when you can't use accent swings. So free advice. It works. Oh, look at this. Someone by the name of Morgan's here, and Morgan wants to ask, how did you start Ebenhawk?
Morgan is Mrs. Hawk. That would be my wife.
I wasn't alluding to anything.
That's Mrs. Hawk. She's awesome, by the way. She helped design the logo behind me. She helped me do all the stickers, all the instruction manuals, this little CAPTCHA card that we have with every saber. If you search any kind of graphic that is related to Ebenhawk, the little droid, she calls it the puppy droid, the T8. I'm probably going to get that wrong. But the R2D2 from Old Republic, she did a cartoonized version of that, and it looks so cute, and she loves it. But anyway, she does all the cool stuff for that. And when I started at Ebenhawk, it was actually, I got the idea in kind of a painful moment in my experience with the saber community. I was working with this awesome company that no longer exists. I was designing a chassis for the Wonderful Sabers twin sons. And it's kind of a touchy subject because what had happened was somebody copied his design, and I won't talk about who. And it caused him to kind of just give up on it, and he totally shut his doors. And I was like, you know what? I want to start my own thing where I can do this from the beginning to the end, and one day I want to be able to do a saber, maybe with some kind of design throwback to him. But that was the moment where I was like, you know what? If I deliver my sabers, I'm nice to people, I give an honest wait time and all that kind of stuff, I can do this. This is something I'm passionate about. I can do it.
Awesome. Appreciate it, dude. So on a lighter note, Craig asks, why can't a 5-ounce swallow carry a 1-pound coconut? And the answer to that is simple, Craig. It's because 5-ounce swallows aren't jacked, they aren't tanned, and they aren't juicy as freak. That's the reason. Next question. Oh, goodness. And then Aaron throwing stuff in there. Cole shouting out
There's
to
one
the lady
question
hawk.
I had too.
Who just piped up? Who just piped up?
Somebody
Who has
said
a
they had
question?
Might have been me, because there was something along the lines of, Link, are you wearing contacts or are your eyes hurting? They said they're not trying to be mean.
No, yeah, it's kind of got these really bad allergies right now, actually.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Thanks for asking.
Should.
I'm not, floating or anything.
All right. Well, I would like to say thank
good
you.
rhyme.
I do want to say thank you to the comment section for all their questions. Keep throwing them in there. Let's see, Jordan, you said you had a quick question for somebody. Go ahead.
I don't remember what it was. Can we tell the story? Brandon, can I tell the story about Repulse?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So,
Story time.
So some of the best moments in the Saber community are when you get told that your network's not quite ready. Because I had asked to join Repulse at one point. Very early on, I was just doing my first fonts. And I showed some of my fonts to Brandon, and he was like, dude, you're not ready. And I was like, what? He's like, you gotta you gotta, some of your stuff's in stereo. You gotta fade these in and out. Like, I'll help you. Just like I was talking about earlier. Anytime you want to learn something in the Saber community, he helped me out. But my stuff was not ready yet. And it pushed me. At that point, I was like, nah, I'm getting this down. We're figuring this out. So took all his tips into consideration, and I can definitely see a big difference between what I sent him and what I'm producing now with like the Atris, the stealth mode I'm working on, the Keanu Revan. I still love that ignition. It just
I love that
time.
font. I was gonna say I love the creativity and the stuff you come up with, and this was what I like about a lot of font makers, and why it's just like music, right? It's like people think that no one's they've made it all. No, whoops. No, they haven't. They haven't made it all, and everybody has their own flavor, right? And you certainly have a lot of really cool stuff that I'm looking forward to adding to my own collection, especially that Keanu Revan. I'm a big Matrix fan. I'm a big Keanu fan, and John Wick 4 just wrapped filming. I'm totally excited about that. Matrix, the new Matrix is out in December. Oh man, don't even.
I got a new Matrix font coming before the movie.
Look
from a commission.
See, and
it's
and
a commission. I didn't just like jump on it, but I've been trying for months because I wanted.
Don't feel bad about it, bro. Do it.
Oh, I can't.
Now you got my creative juices flowing.
Do it.
Like, yeah.
Aaron, where's your emperor voice?
Yeah,
do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Frog Lady.
Palpatines, I love you guys.
The attempt on my life has left me scarred.
That's what we do here in Texas when they hand you tea without sugar.
You punch people in the face.
No, they do that meme. It's the attempt on my life has left me scarred and
Oh well, scarred. Me and my boss get into that all the time. I love unsweet tea, and he takes mine sometimes.
Oh man,
you got to get that chomp chomp.
Nobody else with you, bro. I'm with you. I will go anywhere and order. And people look at me like, "Are you crazy? Why don't you just get water?" I'm like, "Water tastes like crap, bro. Like, I need some unsweet tea in my life." I drink unsweet tea. I've drank it for 20 years. Who knows, like a teenager going in and ordering unsweet tea. This dude.
If I have unsweet tea, it has to be chai tea. That counts, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Fourzze is laughing in H2O.
Gatorade. You're drinking the wrong water.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
Jordan, Will wants to know, are your sound fonts available on your store?
They are available on my Etsy, and they're available on my website. I'm still trying to figure out with Square to make it automated. The way it works right now, you have to email your customer as they order it. So right now, I would recommend going through the Etsy for that. That way you can get your font as quickly as possible.
Want to give a shout to Kelborn, who's I'm assuming Kelborn is new to the show. Hey to Kelborn, he asks, what Saber build did you have the most fun working on?
Ooh, that's a nice
that would be Aboleth's Champion for sure. And I should have answered Aboleth for my favorite villain. Who here doesn't know what Aboleth is?
This guy.
I'm not shy.
So Aboleth is a expanded universe Star Wars villain. She's basically Lovecraft horror inside Star Wars. She's like a she's the mother. When you think about the Force gods of like the mother, the son, the daughter, those people, that weird one episode we did.
Mhm.
Aboleth is the mother. She's banished to the black hole in the middle of the Star Wars universe called the Maw, which is where they did the Kessel Run. I think I could be mistaken on that, but anyway, she's like this eldritch horror of writhing tentacles that gave Luke Skywalker some trouble, and I did a font and a saber based on her. The idea being that she would, yep. For my saber group, I had to come up with an original character, and his deal was like he lost to Darth Vader in the temple during Order 66 and wanted a way to gain more power without the dark side. So he sought her out, and she blessed him with a new cracked kyber crystal, and she left his mark on his saber.
Sweet, dude.
So my etching work.
Down with that.
And then I just want to turn this on. It's super loud, so I'm gonna just warn you ahead of time.
That's awesome.
I dig it, bro. Those
That's
After Effects
amazing.
on the clashes are sweet, bro.
Yep.
Well done on that editing.
That font is gnarly.
Thank you.
Hex yeah. Let's go.
You get the golf clap.
Thank you.
That is awesome, dude.
There's also
Preston.
happens to be my loudest saber, so sorry if I hurt anybody's ears there.
No, that's
Nah,
good.
dude. Wait till some of us hook our direct connect up to our soundboards and actually start doing this stuff in the StreamYard. It gets loud then.
Okay.
It gets loud. Oh man. Oh dude. All right. Well, Jordan, you have, I don't know, I want to say about 15, 20 minutes. Literally your 15 minutes of fame. You have about 15, 20 minutes of pedestal time. It is your time to promote your brand, yourself, talk about you, ask the suspects any questions you may have of us, open discussion with us, or open discussion with the forum, the comment section. It is your time. And go.
All right. So one of the things that I've noticed about a lot of saber vendors, they're really apprehensive to share how they get their hilts. I've told you before, I don't have a way to manufacture hilts. I work with a company called LGT to manufacture some sabers, and a lot of people try to hide behind that. I don't. They want to say, I could just order that straight offline. Why would I go through a vendor or something like that? I spend a lot of time staying up till 2, 3 in the morning. Right now, I'm working on getting a Profi fix for a customer. We did an RGB fix for a customer. These are all things that I do for free for them. Whereas, if somebody came to me and said, "Hey, I've got a broken LED in my in-hilt saber. What can you do for me?" I'd be like, "Well, $50 plus the cost of the part, probably about a $60 repair is pretty fair work. If it's my customer, I'm doing that for free." Just no questions about it. So you get kind of like a warranty, like a service plan for your saber, which if you're going to be hitting electronics together, let's be honest, no matter how good of a builder you are, eventually something's going to break. You look at your computer, you just turn it on and it sits in place, so many times electricity runs over the circuits and the wires, eventually it's going to break. So at some point you're going to need somebody to work on your saber, even if it's just an upgrade. Somebody ordered some hilts for me today where I had to change out the USB-C connection and the 2.1 millimeter. Because I'm an installer and I know how to solder, it wasn't a problem. Whereas, some of the other vendors, they might have to wait 2 or 3 weeks at a time for their stuff to come in. I'm doing that stuff on the fly. If there's a new product coming out, I'm one of the first ones to know about it. I help test the new stuff. Don't really know how much I'm allowed to share about that, but if there's a new product out, there's a chance that I probably have looked at it first. The only exception being like movie hilts. They want to get those out as quick as they can. But Xenopixel, we had it 3 or 4 months before everyone else, working on the kinks. I pointed out, one of the first things I pointed out on like the newest iteration of the RGB, the 2.5. I was pointing out, hey, when we turn the saber off, for about 2 seconds, or not even 2 seconds, like half a second after you turn off the ignition, the hum is continuing afterwards. So that was like one of the things I had to contribute with it. I get to meet some amazing people, get to work with some really cool companies. Right now we're working on one of my personal favorite things that I'm contributing to LGT is that we're finally getting away from the heroic paladin voice. Power on the dark sword. You know, that kind of stuff. We're finally getting away from that. And I suggested that we go towards like an injustice themed menu where you have like a gender neutral AI voice announcing your effects, as opposed to something a little on the cringy side, in my opinion. What else?
And
Y'all
for
have
your
any
UK
questions right now?
options,
I'm
you
kinda-
can get Jim. You can get Jim to do the voice for all of your UK LGT stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been through that before. Like, if you want some sort of geezer, here, mate, do you want a different font or what?
Really funny
Yes.
story.
Yes.
My voice
Yes.
actor and I were messing around, and I was like, "Can you do kind of a British accent?" He's like, "I'm not really good at British." I was like, "Okay, give me kind of like an effeminate, give me an accent that's not macho but not super flamboyant." And he's like, "Do you want me to do the Cleveland voice?" And he started like just rattling stuff off in the Cleveland voice, and I was like, "Oh, you're joking." And then I ran it through my mechanization on Goldwave, and then I ran it through Audacity and did the normal stuff I wanted to. I was like, "Wait a minute, that sounds really good. Do that again, but drop the Southern accent." And he did it, and I was like, "Okay, we're rolling with that. We're rolling with Cleveland there."
Sound bank selection, Peter.
I swear.
It sounded super good though. I was
should
shocked. I was
do
like,
a
I'm a little
menu
mad
with
at how well this
Herbert.
works.
Oh,
Well,
dude,
originally I
freaking
agree.
Link could do the Herbert, the pervert thing. That
Yeah.
would be beautiful.
Do a whole menu with that, like sound bank selection.
Call me.
Yeah.
Guess who?
And I did. I think the joke started off with I was doing Rick sounds. Like, "Oh my God, run! The ghosts are real." Ghostblade. But yeah.
Oh, dude, that'd be amazing. Yeah, I think most of us have a voice that just we impersonate something or somebody that needs to go on there. I know Aaron right here has a few voices I would pay to have on my sabers. Seriously.
Yeah.
Especially his
one of my
Emperor
favorite
voice.
features of one of my fonts. Sometimes I leave Easter eggs in my fonts, and y'all feel free to steal this idea. I leave funny stuff inside the fonts folder sometimes, or in the boot sounds, and like in my Anakin font, and I'll use Xenopixel owners. You have the Cunning Warrior Anakin font. If you go deep enough into the files, you'll hear Anakin say, or Anakin and Mace Windu go back and forth. Mace Windu says, "You're on this council, but we don't grant you the rank of master." Anakin says, "What?" And then we switch over to, "Say what again? Say what again?" So that Easter egg is hidden in the Cunning Warrior font.
I've got a my Kylo Ren font, sequel villain. If you do enough power offs, you'll hear him go radar tech, and he'll go jerk face.
That's awesome.
So it works. Yeah, you can't have Kylo Ren without Matt the radar tech. It's just a thing now. Okay,
Yep.
boomer. What else you got, Jordan?
Looking at the comment section here for just a second. New to the show.
We're
Yep,
all over the place.
I'm always on the Reddit and the Discord. I try to keep an active eye on like how the community's doing. I search my name all the time to see how my reviews are doing, if anyone's got any problems. Because sometimes I'll just notice people be like, "Oh my gosh, my Fourzze FX series is doing this, and this," and I would hate for them to like do that. And they're like, "Have you called the company?" And they're like, "No." So I stay on that. I stay on the Discord. I stay on Reddit Lightsabers all the time, and then Facebook as well. There's so many groups. I'm not sure which one to go to first anymore. Maybe I'll
agreed.
answer that.
With that, there is no one right answer. And truth be told, I'm gonna wait till we get into free time to address that issue. So it's still your 15 minutes, brother.
Okay. Mrs. Hawk just put the Instagram in the comment section. Thank you for doing that.
Yes, I'm going to show that right here. That's the Instagram, guys. If you want to go to that and put a follow/subscribe on him, he would appreciate that, as would the rest of us.
Right. And the link is in the bio on that one. In the bio you have like my link tree, which has like the Etsy website, Facebook, all the things that you can contact me on. The best way to contact me is actually on the Etsy. You can give me a little time limit. Etsy gives me like a seller badge for if I respond within 24 hours. So if you do that, it helps up my stats, and you've got a really good chance of contacting me faster. On the Facebook, I don't see it as quickly sometimes, and it takes me about a day to a week to get to that one. What else? We can talk about my next upcoming font. We can talk about Atris a little bit.
Let's hear
Brandon?
it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So first up, let's go with Atris. This one was a really cool font because I wanted to do a cold theme font, which has been done before. When I brought my first, I want to say it was the Katana from the patch store, I got this font called Cryocarbon, which was kind of like a font that had like some Hoth vibes going to it, but it felt like it was a lightsaber in the cold. I wanted a lightsaber that felt like it was cold on the inside, like its soul, its kyber crystal was somewhat composed of ice. So when I did that one, the way I started this font, and it's always funny how you start them, I searched on YouTube of sounds of wind howling. It was like a 30-hour-long like wind howling to try to put somebody to sleep type thing, and you'll hear that in some of my fonts. Some of the that's the wind starting there. So that's how that font started. But let's go ahead and start her up.
I feel the conflict. So I guess you have a choice.
I'm just gonna skip past Keanu there.
You want a war?
Now they are here, I can finally face this enemy and defeat them.
The other cool part about this font is I took one of my favorite scenes from 47 Ronin, where they unveil the silver swords. You can actually hear the shimmering of the sword. Kind of reminds me of Samurai Jack a little bit. It's always funny how it picks it up. The other one, the big inspiration for this one is I listened to the Ezra lightsaber, his first one, the blaster one. It has a very unique, soft ignition. I listened to it about 100 times trying to get something very similar, but still kind of wind themed, like Rey and Cal get in their yellow sabers. They sound like, to me, I hear wind passing down a metal tube whenever their sabers are ignited. But yeah, so just hear that little ignition there. Very similar, but with a little bit more impact. Thank you.
That's real cool.
And the other one I'm working on, I haven't even announced it. This is the first time I'm really talking about it, other than with my close buddies. Stealth mode. The quote, I haven't really settled on anything. It's from Kung Fu Panda, where he goes like, "All right, stealth mode." But the whole idea behind it is a lightsaber that's more stealthy than others, which is probably not the best weapon to, a big beam of light for trying to be stealthy. But I thought it'd be cool to do a quiet sounding saber. But then I was like, wait a minute, does that feel like you're getting less out of it because it's not as loud as the other saber sounds? So it's been a really difficult challenge. It's kind of been putting my skills up to the test.
Got it. Stealth mode.
I really like the short ignition on these. This one has the pre-on, so it's a little bit longer. Let's switch over to the Xeno here real quick.
You have no to fear. Just a traveler.
This knowledge of the Sith and the Jedi
Sorry. I'm like,
Wouldn't be a proper smuggler rig without iron stuff.
Like
Got it. Stealth mode.
very short ignition, as if like, you know, kind of the Ahsoka scenes in Mandalorian where she's like going back and forth, like putting the saber behind somebody's back, stabbing them, turning it off really quick. But yeah. So yeah, I got some cool ideas. I've had like some cool prompts. I want to do like a Trevor Belmont lightsaber whip somewhere in between like the two. But definitely inspired by Castlevania.
My God, dude, be my guest, please. My son is dying for me to make that font, and I'm like, no, please don't make me do that. So if you do it, thank you.
I have done one kind of whip themed one, and it's one of the most fun ones. I can't believe I skipped it. A chained kunai.
No longer deep.
Oh, it's not on this one. Let's see here.
I will search for
Hell yeah.
Oh wait.
That's cool. Bro, well done.
You die.
I forget, how do you do the track on Profi one button? I must not have it on this one. That's okay. But yeah.
Profit one button is 2 clicks.
I must not have it. But yeah, very fun one. It does the Mortal Kombat music if you have it programmed right, but I didn't do it on that one.
Aaron's got the answer, Jordan, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So, Profi one button, are you using a prop file, like FET263 button prop file, or say 22C? Okay, then it should be 2 quick presses of the button.
Yeah, I just don't have it on the crossguard. That's one of the ones I keep continuously cycling. So,
gotcha. I do.
Jordan, did you have any? Go ahead, Aaron, real quick.
I'm actually pretty excited for stealth mode. It sounds really cool. I'm gonna be buying it the day it drops.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hashtag support. Jordan, you have any final thoughts before we go into nerd up time?
No, I think that covers it for now. I'm going to keep it like it is. I do see somebody asking me to fire up the Twin Suns. Mrs. Hawk, if you're watching, if you'll grab it. It's the Ahsoka one hanging by the hook.
Sweet. I want to thank everybody in the comment section for tuning in tonight. It's been pretty successful having the usual suspects go from 1 platform to 3. I want to thank everyone at Lightsaber Sanctuary who's tuning in, who's kind of working at the bench, hanging out with us. Again, we do this every other Saturday night. After the first hour, when our guest is done, as most of you know, we go into pretty much nerd mode when we talk about whatever. Real quick, Jordan's got about 3-4 more minutes. Here's a quick question while his saber is coming from Rich. Hey, Rich. Do you think Profi and CFX will try to add any DRM to your fonts?
DRM. What do they mean, DRM?
Rich, if you're still there, can you elaborate?
I'm not sure what do you mean.
I'll wait on that comment real quick, and I'll post it when it comes in. Does anybody, does Brandon, Aaron, Mike, Preston, do you know what he means by DRM?
Isn't DRM the way that they stop? Yeah, they stop you being able to use it.
Oh,
like in other places. It's what they have on video games as well, so you can't like copy them.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Boy, that'd be interesting.
Do we want to get into that? That'll probably go into nerd time.
That's a snowball topic.
Yes.
I think we should avoid that if you want my opinion.
short answer is no.
Yeah.
Well, then there you go. All right, excellent. Well, so I want to give a big shout out and thanks to Jordan at Ebenhawk Armory for being here, dude. It was our honor to have you, and thank you so very much for accepting our invite and hanging out with us tonight. The invite goes to any and all guests who join us on The Usual Suspects, that when we go into Nerd Up Time, yeah, I know, Jeff Birch, that's your word, but I'm using it. When we go into Nerd Up Time, you are more than welcome to stay all the way to the end of the stream and then into our after party if you so wish. And with that, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and shift gears. So I'm gonna say the half-assed Kenobi teaser dropped yesterday.
Yep.
I
Yikes!
haven't seen it yet.
Okay. So
It's not a real teaser.
there's
Just
no
like-
spoilers. There's no spoilers, like, at all. There's zero. Like, we can talk completely about it, and we're not gonna ruin a thing for you. Ewan McGregor is sitting in a chair, and he's addressing the audience, and he's addressing whoever's speaking to him, and like the one thing he says is something to the effect of, "I'm excited for Hayden and I to, clash again." That's like, so, and that opens up a huge broad thing of, oh my God, where's it going to be, and how's it going to happen, and when's it going to happen? So, there's that. I mean, we can put our hopes and dreams on the table for the next hour, but that'd be kind of like, whatever. But needless to say, I'm more excited. I am more excited for this series coming out than I am for Mando season 3, than Book of Boba Fett, or any new movie. I've been waiting for some closure on Kenobi and his story from when he's done with Vader to when Vader's done with him. I'm looking for that in between. I'm looking for that. How does he get the name Ben? You know what I mean? I'm looking for all that. I'm super excited about that.
I'm a little anxious about it, to be honest. Like, I'm worried that they'll have Vader and Kenobi meet, and it kind of takes away from the moment of Episode 4 where they're, when I left you, I was but the learner.
I don't want it to happen. Unpopular opinion, I know, but I don't want them to meet. I
mean, it'll
have
be
no
cool to
problem
see,
with Vader
but-
being in the show
Izzy
at
makes a
all.
good
Like, that
point
makes
here.
sense.
Izzy makes a great point here. It's going to tarnish the A&H fight, and I agree with her completely. I agree with
And
Jim.
it's going to completely, because like the last time we saw them, like, he was in bits, literally, and then like the next time we see them, it's been all this time, and it's like the build up there. If you put something in the middle, you're going to take away from either one of the fights, either in a New Hope or Revenge of the Sith. Like,
I do have a caveat.
I
to
love
that,
the
though.
idea of having them in there, like, absolutely, but I don't want them to fight. I don't want them to even meet.
Now, if they did like what that one YouTube video did, I can't remember their name. They reshot the New Hope video with a little bit more action, and they used the two actors. That might be kind of cool. Like, we see a little bit more of the fight. Like, that fight, the New Hope one is the season finale.
I made kind of that point last night on our test stream. I'd really like them to revisit Mustafar, and the scenes where you see the Emperor and Yoda going could be additional combat scenes that we didn't get to see. Maybe additional dialogue, maybe something mentioning, Anakin's anger over Ahsoka. Just something a little extra to show there's a little more raw emotion in there. That would
just give us a few flashbacks. With Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen in their proper like Clone Wars outfits. That's all I want, and I'll be a happy boy.
I do have one little prediction that might actually make sense. If Obi-Wan goes and he sees Yoda and goes to the tree, he could very well relive some of his moments in his fight with basically his brother. I mean, that would be the darkest moment in his life.
That'd be cool. See, if they did it like that, and they had a fight, and it wasn't real, then I'm all for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, or it's like a flashback or some kind of.
They'd be playing off the whole Last Jedi thing, using the mind to have the combat, without the physical getting hurt. I can absolutely see that, and Filoni and Favreau are nothing short of incredible on delivery, and I know for a fact they're going to deliver on this one. One hope that I have is we get a fully acted out deleted scene from Clone Wars where Obi and Anakin are camping, and they're talking about Ahsoka being gone. That was loaded with emotion, and I think the two of them being able to act that part out and then have it build up to when he falls, that would make tears spill. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
There's so much they can do. They've got Preston. What'd you say? They got 6 hours to make this happen, and they should make this happen.
Yep.
Right.
Aaron, if I can point correctly, Aaron has said it before, and I agree with him. One thing I want to see is, as horrible as it is to say it, I want to see Obi-Wan break. I want to see a moment with him in the desert, and he just kind of sits down or kneels down, and the wave of everything that's happened, everything that he has lost, just hits him, and he just kind of breaks, and we see a little bit of humanity in him, because for the most part, we've really seen Obi-Wan as just this bright and shining hero, never breaking.
Yeah, you want him not to remember R2 and ever owning enjoyed and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Jordan, I think that was called Fix It in Post or FX It in Post. The people who made that scene with Vader and yeah,
that was super cool. I love that.
Yeah.
When I rewatch the movies, I actually, especially like with my kids or something, like not to knock the original, but I add that in. Like we stop for a second, I just go to YouTube, I put it on, and like that's the part. Oh, sorry guys, I just had to, and I just play that, and it's like much more of a no, because like the kids and they like the more fast paced, and when you watch the original fights, it's like a little bit slower. They want more. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna quick look up an image. Years and years ago, I don't know if any of you all have ever seen the movie Castaway. Have you guys ever seen Tom Hanks in Castaway?
Yep.
Years ago, when I was thinking about Obi-Wan in the desert, I always thought that even if it were for a short amount of time, if Obi-Wan had a story built around his flashbacks, his current place in time is going to be in the desert. He's roaming, he's walking, he's trying to find himself. He's undergoing, the training to commute with Qui-Gon, but we never hear him speak. It's just him going through it, but always the flashbacks. I always envisioned him going through the desert like Castaway, filmed like that with the same emotion. No music. It's just him and that open terrain, and that's all it is. And you just kind of get lost with him in it. I mean, I'm not sure with the current direction and the way things go. I don't think these directors and these screenwriters are quote unquote brave enough to venture into something like that. But it would be a really neat approach. Cole right here makes a fantastic point. Obi-Wan should be tested by the dark side in the desert. I mean, what's going to bring about the dark side in Obi-Wan when he's by himself with his thoughts in the heat and the openness and the void of the desert? Just his thoughts. I mean, if you really think about it, from the beginning of the Clone Wars, even before, actually from the death of his master all the way to when he got to Tatooine, his life has been crap. Obi-Wan Kenobi is a walking, talking tragedy. Yeah. And and what does he do? His whole life, he bottles it up. He bottles it up. He opens the bottle just long enough to defeat Anakin, but bottles it right back up again after that.
Yep. I could see
he's nasty when he opens that bottle.
I could see the way that Obi-Wan in Episode 4 speaks about Mos Eisley. I could see him returning to that place and going there and giving himself one drink and then two and then three and turning it into like a he's starting to get into starting to become dependent on a substance or something like that, and they could go down that character arc. And then for a little bit of nostalgia, a hooded figure walks into the bar. He lowers his hood. You see horn little shapes at the top of his head, and you're thinking it's Darth Maul for a second. Then an old man shuffles to the bar and he says, "Want to buy some death sticks?"
Yes, I knew you were gonna say that. That's awesome.
Apparently, they
Okay,
brought
so
that character back in the comics. He's like
Did they
fine.
really?
He went home, rethought his life, and he's got like a kid and stuff. And they brought him
Yeah.
into the comics. Genius.
I do think
That's
that
what I
would be
love about
pretty-
Star Wars is when they're like, you know, this random tiny character that you have no interest in. We're going to make an entire story out of them.
Yes.
Like,
You know, Quinlan Voss. He doesn't mean anything, but you're going to love him forever. Yes, I am.
it's funny is that it's true.
Yeah.
It's all true. Oh my gosh. Let's see, save. I'm gonna show you guys an image real quick, and boom. I gotta see if I can time this just right. Banners, no, not banners. Brand. Overlay. Come on, quick. So, do you guys remember? Let's see pictures. Come on. Do you guys remember at the end of what was it? The Hobbit, not Desolation of Smaug, the third one. When Bilbo says goodbye to everybody, right? And he goes home and he gets into his house, right? And he's kind of looking around and they start playing the Lord of the Rings theme, and then it just quick flashes back to old Bilbo. You guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what if we get all the way through this series, right? And then, you see these flashbacks, you see these things happen to Obi-Wan, and they start to play, his little episode 4 theme. Na, 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 na. And it wraps up with that. And it's him. And that right there is the face he had when Luke said, "How did my father die?" Like that was his face. And honestly,
I cut him to pieces, mate. You should have seen it. It was a great time.
No, but seriously, like that would be crazy if after the whole series, all you hear is just this faint voice of Luke. How did my father die? And then boom, it just cuts to that picture.
When I did Cunning Warrior, the main track or the main font for that one, I tried to capture that moment of like just duress over his fallen brother. Do you mind if I play it really quick? I know my time's over, but
no, dude. Hey, look, this is your night, brother. Absolutely
Okay.
play it. Another really cool.
Things about the Force that they're not telling me.
let's see if I can get it to go.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. I want more, and I
It's
know
gonna
I
take me a
should.
second because I only have it random.
Obi-Wan, my powers have doubled since the last time we made count. Obi-Wan, my powers have doubled since the last time we made count.
I may have to pull it up on the
Obi-Wan,
computer.
I want more, and I know I shouldn't.
That's okay. We'll get it on the computer here. Last time it worked.
There's a YouTube video out there. It's called Obi-Wan Has PTSD, and they do that. They go to that scene where it's like, how did my father die? And then they show all that episode 3 stuff. And
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Dude, a lot of those videos have very poor transition, but a lot of them have very good transition, but very poor music.
Let me know
I'm
if this
waiting for
plays.
somebody to do it right. Is that my dog or yours?
No, your dog went over there. Your dog was dancing.
Did
I
that
have
play through or
that
not really?
as mine.
Did that go through?
I had to have it on my saber somewhere.
Yes.
Here, let
It's
me-
my favorite
I'll
track
pull that
of
from that.
all of them. Like, I know, obviously, Jewel of the Fates is a good one, but just for sheer gravitas, for me, I'm like that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
It brings
That's
chills,
it. There we
Jeff.
go.
It brings
Yeah,
chills
that
every
track.
time.
the school. What you feel is right, of course.
Woo!
A great friend.
So
I
that's
do
why
wanna
the
say,
font is called Training Warrior.
After using your font, Aaron, Anger and Lust for Power, so much, it's almost kind of weird hearing Hayden's voice on a saber.
I
you
know. Kyle did such a good job, though.
He did. He really did.
Yeah, the voice acting on your Anakin font was next level, man. When I heard that one, I was like, dude, he's getting really good at the voice acting part. Like some of them, like I could tell it was somebody else. On that one, I was really questioning, like, was that him or was that the film?
The approach on that was honestly all I wanted to do at the time was just something outside the box. I didn't want to just rip Hayden quotes because it's been done 80 million times. Brandon can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
But to take a line like, this is where the fun begins, and have the Joker say, "Bring it down to our level," and just this is where the fun begins. Oh, dude, Aaron was with me. We both were listening to all those lines. His input was top notch, and there were some serious banger lines, and there were some that we wanted to be in there, but he just couldn't perform it right, and that's okay. I mean, I think what we got was I couldn't ask for better. I really couldn't, and I was very, very pleased.
When I was in the middle of making my Anakin font, I love Reddit, but sometimes they're total goofballs. And they asked me if I would do the cringy lines from the Revenge of the Sith video game. The one like where he dies and goes, They're in there. They're there. They're like disabled, but you like click them and drag and drop. They're there.
Oh yeah, dude. And the most devoted will appreciate that. They know where it's from. Like kind of like Obi. You have to his lockup in there. You have to try harder than that. So I threw that in there. It had to go in there. I wanted it to be different, and I'm glad. I'm gonna take the same approach on my Ahsoka. Oops, did I say too much? So that's gonna be good stuff. Hey, Isaac has finally joined us. Where the heck have you been?
Oh, Isaac.
No, but honestly, I truthfully don't believe. I'm probably gonna shoot myself in the foot saying this, but I really don't believe they can mess this up. I really don't. I don't think they can mess this up. I mean, Hayden and Ewan have been missed so much.
As long as Kathleen Kennedy doesn't touch it.
Woo! There it is.
Oh, spicy.
Shots fired.
Why is it spicy?
What about,
why does it hurt my mouth so much?
Ahsoka, she's like really well loved right now. Do you think they could maybe tarnish her rep on that show?
That woman could screw up a freaking peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
And you'd still eat it.
No. Well, yes, I would. Yeah, that's true.
I'd taste it.
Yeah. You'd still eat that sandwich.
I'd eat
it the whole time. I'd be like,
I'd eat a lot and ask for another.
Damn it, this is terrible.
I guess I'll have to finish it.
I guess I'll have to finish
Save this for tomorrow.
Dang it.
Oh, God. I hope they never see our stream.
Hashtag exposed, man.
I feel like that peanut butter jelly thing is like, all you have to do is do starships, the Force, and call them lightsabers. That's all you have to do. Laser swords.
Kick myself out of the stream.
Yeah, laser swords.
Laser swords. Cringe.
Oh. I heard, okay, this is totally rumor, but I have to bring it up because of what you just said. It just made me think of it. There's a lot of rumors going on with the Ahsoka show and the Obi-Wan show, and I'm sure there will continue to be rumors until they come out, whatever. But one interesting theory I heard that really kind of made my ears perk up was that with the whole world between worlds, the rumor was that Disney is positioning the sequel trilogy to be in an alternate timeline / universe or something, kind of like Marvel's doing with the multiverse. And I'm like, yo, that would be the perfect scapegoat to like, and I'm not one of those ones that hates the whole trilogy. I don't. I'm like 50-50 on it. But still, if they did want to retcon it, that's a way of retconning without actually retconning. You know what I mean? So it could still technically be canon, but just in a different universe, multiverse thing. But I'm like,
everything's off.
I don't know if they're going to do that. It's total rumor, of course, but like I'm just saying, if they did it that way, it wouldn't hurt my feelings.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do an alternate version of the sequels at the same time. But because obviously the problem is we've lost too many of the actual people that are in it. You know, without Carrie, how do you do a sequel trilogy? You can't. You just, I'm sorry, but you can't. She
it's
has
like
to be
everything
in it.
else in the multiverse, though. You know, in that timeline or that universe or world or whatever they want to call it, maybe she had already passed earlier.
People won't accept it.
Well, look, let's be real. Though.
I wouldn't.
Let's
I'd
be
be
real.
like,
it doesn't matter what you do. This community is going to have a large sect that's not going to accept it. It doesn't matter what you do. So I'm not going to like use that as like a reason not to, you know, like it. You could do it good, bad. Otherwise, you could like it. I could hate it, vice versa. But there's going to be this huge base that's going to just. It doesn't matter what you do. Thumbs down.
Oh yeah, no, of course. I mean, I saw a comment. Because obviously the entire world went insane yesterday when there was no trailer. The most random comment I think I've ever, not the most random, that's ridiculous. The internet's a very big place. Someone said, I'm not watching the Kenobi show because they fired Gina Carano from The Mandalorian and have ruined it. I'm like, hold on a minute. Let me just unpack this.
Yeah. I mean,
give me a sec.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, because you're basing the fact that you don't want to watch this show on another show that hasn't been made yet that doesn't feature a character from this show. Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
that's
that makes
the
perfect
disconnect
sense.
for me.
You carry on.
Yeah, like if it was like, you know, a character pertinent to the show in question, that would make a little more sense. I could understand that, but I agree with you where like if it's not even in the same show, it's like you know what?
How do you know it's been ruined? Have you seen it?
Dadgummit, John Travolta's portrayal of Danny Zuko in Grease is not in this show, so screw it. It's like
exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going old school with that one.
Yeah, no.
Well done.
I appreciate that. You're not wrong though. That's exactly.
Marty McFly's not in it. What the hell?
Then I'm not interested.
Not watching.
So
what? We don't have a flying DeLorean? Screw this.
It really though. You should. If they don't, you should.
Unpopular opinion and prediction. I think Rey will be a very popular character within the next 5 years. I think that she has a lot of room to grow.
Yep.
I think that they could very easily do what they did with Ahsoka to Rey, take her from unpopular and unliked to make her
or freaking Hayden Christensen. Like, are you kidding me?
She just
they
needs a good
memed
arc.
on him so hard that he like would be depressed in real life and wouldn't even go to conventions and stuff. And now he's like one of the most loved characters of all time. It's like, no, you're 100% right though.
Oh Lord, it's going to be the Rose Tico movement in 7 to 8 years.
No, it's not.
So
that's just
I think
not going to happen.
With Rey, they should take her like she is. Embrace the Mary Sue. Like, say she's good at everything, and she's a little frustrated with the people around her. She has difficulty relying on others. She doesn't want to assign tasks out to other people. She gets overwhelmed. She goes through the process of learning to become from a knight to a master, and give her that role where she has to learn how to be a mentor and a teacher.
I'd watch it, bro. For me, it's like who is writing it and who's directing it, because I don't have a problem with Daisy Ridley as an actress. I really don't. I think she's great. I think, as you know, her really the effort she put into the role. I think she really did give it her all. It's just I just think that all the reshoots and the rewrites and the fact that they didn't use the Colin Trevorrow script is just what tanked the whole thing. You know, it could have been so much better. Wasn't a complete disaster, but yeah, she, again, I don't care if they do a sequel where, you know, this brings up something interesting. So whenever the last episode 9, was done and the first reactions, there was a lot of big theories about, well, what if somehow the Force gets her pregnant and has twins, and it's Ben? That was actually one that floated around for a little while with the whole Reylo thing. And I said, okay, whether they took it in a direction like you said, where she's becoming the master and trying to figure that out on her own, very much like Luke had to do, or maybe she does have twins and it's just this cyclical thing. And like, I don't really care what way they take it. I just want them to have a plan and stick to the plan and just not all the reshoots, not all the interruptions, not all the too many chefs in the kitchen. Write something good and execute. That's what I want.
Oh yeah, this can all be redeemed if it's done properly. It can be completely and utterly redeemed.
Yeah, I'm not giving up on it.
Sequels. I am. I like the stories that they tell. Are they perfect? No. Would I have done things differently? Absolutely. There are so many, but then you could say that about every film. You know, there are so many things that I would do differently.
Man. The Fifth Element's a freaking masterpiece.
You are not wrong, sir.
That is a damn masterpiece.
Yeah, no, you're right there.
I mean, sometimes it's like Ron White. He says, folks, sometimes things just work out. Yeah, it's so good, man.
So I think, if you did expand on those characters, there are certain things that they needed to do and they could still do. Finn being properly Force sensitive.
Oh, God,
training
please.
as a Jedi.
Okay, please. There was rumors about this, too. I saw rumors that John Boyega was back in talks with Disney, and everyone just gravitated towards that immediately. Was like, oh my God, if they could just do that, and whether he's taught by somebody else or Rey or whoever, I just please do that for me. Please do that for me, because the whole Stormtrooper Goes Jedi storyline was freaking mwah. Just like, why didn't they finish it?
Yeah,
so close.
No, exactly. I completely agree. There's chances to bring this back, and I do think we're gonna see it,
bro. When Finn goes, "Come get it," I was like, "Yeah!" Like I was so hyped. I was like, "Bro, let's go!" Like that was so sick, man. I'm
when
so mad.
When he clipped Kylo, that did it.
Yeah,
he
got a piece of Kylo. I'm like, are you?
How do you?
Right?
Yeah, a normie got a piece of a Force.
Well, point though, in the original script, he was supposed to become a Jedi by the third movie, maybe sooner.
He is. He is. I mean, at the end of the day, he is Force sensitive. That's canon.
Episode 7 was a whole bunch of foreshadowing to all the crap that they should have done.
Well, it's him constantly saying to Rey, "I've got something to tell you."
Yeah,
never telling her.
And they cliffhunged it, and it's like, what is it? You got bad gas? Did you eat Taco Bell? Like, what the hell are you gonna say? like, come on, man!
Yeah.
Don't leave me hanging.
Episode 7 is my favorite out of that sequel trilogy because
me too.
The build up is so good. Harrison Ford, period.
That's
Chewie.
Not how the Force works.
Not how the Force works.
The sequels do get a lot of bad press about like how bad the combat is. And in Last Jedi, I agree, but I do like the moment in Force Awakens where at one point they go out of the way to show you how powerful Chewie's bowcaster is and just totally blow a guy off of his feet. And then you go back and watch the Kylo fight and you realize he's been hit in the hip by one of those. Like that is some serious trauma. He's probably holding together an artery with the Force. Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah,
he's
distracted. Like this, it made it a more even fight, but that's why. I mean,
but still, for Finn to get off a clip on him in any capacity should have, and that was the point. Is it's just foreshadowing that Finn is actually Force sensitive, and he really doesn't even know it yet. So on an injured, trained, Force user like Kylo, and for him to pull that off is, man. It makes me cry, man, that they didn't complete that.
There's so many parts of it. There's so many parts of it that you were like, you had it right there, and then you just
it was right there. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I did like Episode 9's little battle in the water on the cruisers.
That was cool. That was dope.
Okay, that was one of the key highlight moments, and it was really just this almost theatrical / pseudo romantic back and forth between Rey and Kylo, the way I really like the way they did it, and the choreography was pretty. What I like the most is it's like one of the few times in the whole trilogy where they go out of their way to do a special sound effect, and it's whenever they use their hand to block the blade and the force, and you know, and I'm like, okay, the way they shot that was really good. I like the cinematography in that section of the movie a lot.
It's got a lot of good points.
In every hero versus villain scene in Star Wars, you'll notice that the villain is usually the aggressor, the more powerful attacker, while the good guy is usually on defense. It was exactly the opposite. Rey was fighting like she was a 7-foot tall burly man, and she was just like putting the force behind her blows, and Kylo was just struggling to block. He wasn't having a speed problem. She felt physically powerful in the fight.
I don't know. I almost want to disagree because like maybe in the beginning, but like there was a very noticeable progression through that battle where Kylo he's cool, calm, collect, taking his time, toying with her, and he allowed her to wear herself out, and he had the upper hand until his mom interrupted him. Like that's what I saw. No,
yeah,
no.
at the end of the fight,
is that a bad way to say it? Is that a bad way to say it?
No.
You know, like no, she reached. You know, Leia reached out, and that he just obviously anyone would stop, right? And that's the only reason she got to stab him in the first place. But he had the advantage. You know, he let her. Yeah. Anyway, what's up, Jeremy?
Yeah. I got the feeling. Oh, hey man. I got the feeling. I agree with you at the end. I just had the feeling like Kylo had the experience, but Rey just looked. She just looked like she was
kind of like an
ragdolling him there for
untamed
a
animal,
little bit.
man. She was nuts.
Yeah. I thought it would be the opposite. You know, I thought they would. You know, Kylo is physically imposing compared to her. I figured it'd be the other way around, but it just stood out to me, especially because I was learning choreography really well at the time with one of the saber groups.
But these trilogies, they will come back because they are someone's first.
Oh yeah,
no different than the prequels.
And they're filming new stuff too.
I grew up with the original trilogy, and so for me, that's like I saw them at the cinema the first time because I'm old as all hell. And you know, so when the prequels came out, they weren't my favorite. Like they really weren't. I was just like, I don't know what you've done here, but it's not what I want. Thanks very much. I'll take the bit with Darth Maul, and the rest of it can go in the bin. But as years gone on, obviously I've learned to appreciate it more. And I think that the series like the Clone Wars actually made the prequels better. You know, they added enough to that story that I was just like, I'm on board now. And now I can rewatch I can't rewatch all the prequels. I can't rewatch Attack of the Clones. I'm sorry, I can't. It's not
bad.
good.
It's worth watching the YouTube videos of the fight. That's about it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you need. But Revenge of the Sith is amazing. But there are people, obviously, the prequels, that's their trilogy. And so they will defend it with their lives. And I love that. And I appreciate that. And I'm like, I always like to listen to people's opinions on that. But like my kids, I took my kids to see the sequel trilogy. So for them, that's their first introduction to Star Wars. So like my youngest, one of his favorite characters is Rey, because he's like, I like her story, I like her progression for it. So those are going to get older, and they're going to be like, but that's what we grew up with, and that's what we love. So they will come back. For us people that are so bogged down, I think sometimes in the lore, it's very difficult to stand back a little bit and go, they're just films at the end of the day. You know, they're just films, because they're not to us. They're everything. And I'm pretty sure that all of us here could have made a better sequel trilogy, no doubt, right?
Don't forget, like when it comes down to it, it's whoever's in control. And in our case here, it's Disney. They're in control of that property. That's their thing. Don't forget that they're not going to take a property like Star Wars and Indiana Jones and stuff like that and make stuff to ruin it. They want to make money off of it. They want it to do well. So these are like, and so they kind of look at it as product testing within, one small group. Say the group that they have of people is not any of us. Maybe there's one of us in a group of like people had never seen the original trilogy or stuff who people had never seen the prequels, and they're only going by what the sequel trilogy is like. So their product testing groups are probably different. They're just, it's not just one person doing it all.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, those films weren't made for us. They were made to make money.
Exactly. And they did.
And they did. At the end of the day, whether we enjoy them or don't, and I still enjoy them, I'll watch them all. They made money. They did what they were supposed to do.
Yep.
And we're still talking about them. Still like they went away.
Exactly.
Yep. They're not going anywhere, really, I don't think.
Disney's basically like Palpatine in Episode 9. Look what you have made. Look at all the money.
And no matter how many times they kill him, he still keeps popping up.
Oh, don't we know it? And you know what? In the sense of it being E. McDermott, like that, I'm cool with it. I mean, it wasn't like the best idea they had, but I'll always, that's a sandwich I'll eat every time. You know what I mean? Like it's freaking, it's the master, bro. The original.
Yeah.
The OG.
Just a little quick side note, because kept on mentioning how like Star Wars is like Palpatine, how it always keeps coming back. There's this guy on YouTube, Johnny Ethco. He makes like little animated cartoons, and he made one called Palpatine is a Moron. And there's a little bit at the beginning where Palpatine's like, "I'm back." one of like the ship crewmates is like, "What? How?" And you just hear Palpatine. He's like, "That doesn't matter."
Yeah.
One of the YouTube critics I really like, who takes like a good approach at criticizing the prequels for what they are good at and what they don't do, Cosmonaut Quickie, I think is what it's called. He makes some really good points about the prequels and sequels, like, and he keeps it pretty entertaining. Like whenever they start talking about there's a galactic trade federation that's going to have some debates, and it shows like Yoda like trying to like go to sleep and die. He's like just so bored, and then he like wakes up like 10 minutes later, like like I took a nap. I'm finally awake for the final duel. But it makes pretty entertaining stuff.
But that's just it. Like you look at the Clone Wars. I mean, it's a cartoon. At the end of the day, it's a cartoon for kids. But look at what that's given us. It's insane. Like they took a character that essentially went out like a punk at the end of Phantom Menace and made him one of the greatest characters of all time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody loved him from the minute you saw the second blade ignite. You're like, he's going to be the best ever. And then they're like, oh, 3 minutes later, he's dead. But
they also introduced a character that was not been seen in live action till just last year.
Who?
Right?
Bo-Katan?
Yeah.
Ahsoka Tano.
So
yeah.
She's never been seen in live action.
Oh, no. Well,
Bo-Katan as well. I'm going to throw Bo-Katan to you, yes.
And Bo-Katan.
I think she was the first from Clone Wars. I'm not sure.
You're right. But don't forget, I'm talking about a central character, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about a character that's
a role stylist.
Yeah, but still, like you got. It also kind of nice that they got a character that when she ended her role in the Clone Wars originally, where she walked away from the Jedi Order, and you're like,
what?
Okay, what's going to happen? Yeah, like I was at the end of that season going, what's going to happen? Like, where is this going to go? And then without that animated, then you've got Rebels. Love Rebels. Rebels, you got 2 new Jedi that you love, a whole bunch of characters that are absolutely amazing, and another iconic ship. So,
I mean, yeah, that's just it. Like for me, Rebels and Clone Wars gave me 2 of my top 3 characters in the entire of Star Wars. It's like Luke will always be first.
yeah.
He will forever. And then it's Ahsoka Tano, Kanan Jarrus. I'm like, I'm done. Like, I love a lot of other characters, but the fact that those 2 characters I love so much and that have become so high in my esteem, it's just like, that's incredible. And, you know, to be fair, Rebels was the first thing that Disney gave us.
Yeah. I want to see. Right.
Yeah.
I want to see, and I know it might not be a popular opinion, but I want them to bring Mace Windu back, and I want him in live action. I want Cal Kestis in live action.
Nice.
And there was a third one, and I know it's there. I'll forget. Oh, and
Starkiller?
yeah, that's the third
Sam
one.
Witwer.
The fourth thing I was thinking about, but yeah, no, Sam Witwer. Oh my God, Cameron Monaghan is Cal, live action. Sam Witwer is Galen Merrick, Starkiller, live action. Give me, I don't care if it's canon, call it whatever you want, just make it. You know what I mean? And then for trilogies, I really am holding out for the day, and I might be 90 damn years old, but I want them to do the Old Republic proper trilogy, full budget, the best thing you have to toss at it, whether that's Jon Favreau and his crew or whoever you got, man.
You all right,
Old
Jeremy?
Republic, dude. Let's freaking
What's
go.
that?
You all right?
I'm pipe turning.
Oh, okay. I thought
Don't
you
want it
were
like-
seizing for a second. It's like,
No,
do I need to call Canadian 911?
Canadian 911 is this, here's its number. 9 1
2
1.
912.
Yeah, we got a guy turning his pipe over here. We might need some assistance.
So
I'm not. There's no stop for working. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Understood. Yeah, dude.
What's everybody working on? What's your newest project?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Johannan, start with you.
Well, I've got a couple things. One, working on a font commission with this guy. So, and it's going to be sweet. It's going to be real sweet. We'll just say that.
Sweet.
Got that. I need to save up some money for it, but I'm going to get a really nice, high quality Cal Kestis cosplay.
Yes, let's go.
So I'll send pictures in our little group chat. And I talked to the guy that makes them, and I was like, hey, so in the game, there's people that made mods for it, and one of the mods is black outfits. So I sent him some pictures. I was like, you think you could do a black Cal Kestis cosplay? He's like, yeah, I can. So
I always get nervous about doing that. When a customer comes up to you, he's like, can you do a spinning helicopter lightsaber with dragons etched on it and flat blades? And I'm like, that's a lot. I always worry when I go to a cosplayer. Yeah.
I've had to turn a lot. Oh, the amount of stuff, because there are some great saber builders out there, and I know where my skill set is. Like, I say I'm here. There's some guys that are way up here, right?
Oh yeah.
But they also have the machinery and stuff like that to do amazing stuff. The amount of times I get requests, hey, can you do this? I'm like, no, I can't. I don't have the equipment to do half the stuff you would want on there.
Yeah.
So, which is funny because that guy got sent to me from someone else in the community. Oh, Jared could probably do it.
Yep.
So,
Nice try.
I'll do my best to try and do stuff, but I know where my limit goes.
Preston, what about yourself?
What about what?
What you working
The
on?
question from
What's
Jordan,
your-
everybody, is what's everybody working on? What's the
Your latest
next
commission
project?
or your latest project? Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm knee deep in trying to take over the world, Pinky.
Same thing we do every night.
Hey, God, Preston, brilliant!
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Over the world. Yes.
No, I'm heavily working on some font stuff.
How's you there, Mr. Brandon?
I am always, so I've been pretty quiet. I haven't really put out any new fonts or any posts. Almost really lately, it's just been, hey, look at all the cool stuff in the office and this DIY light panel I'm building. Look at look at my cool stuff. But nothing really like like saber font or sabers or font or Star Wars related as of late. And that's just because I've been very, very busy in the background with what is evolving with my company. So, Repulse is currently a platform for sound fonts, which is fantastic. You should definitely check it out if you haven't yet. We got Fourzze FX, we got Syndicate, and Cosmic Ape, and Dante Saber Designs. All fantastic font artists. Definitely go support those guys. We have collectively well over 100 fonts to choose from now. So there's a little something for everybody. But Repulse, in my initial vision of it, was always something, I didn't say Repulse, like I changed it from Repulse Custom Sounds to Repulse Collectibles. And I did that because I don't want it to be, Repulse Custom Sabers or Repulse's Star Wars Emporium. Like, I don't want to limit it to just Star Wars, because eventually I would like to be a storefront that can do sci-fi, which is going to be heavy on the Star Wars. But if I decide to venture off into some other IP or genre or something, that I can do that. For the foreseeable future, though, I'm focused solely on Star Wars stuff. So I've been making hints. If people have been following the page and the Repulse group, I've been talking a lot about some saber related stuff coming up. I've even, the Legacy Hilt, the Tron Saber, that's still in the background. I think I'll see some real activity with that in January, February, probably. But for right now, I'm kind of working in the background on some other stuff, mostly related with lightsabers. So yay for that. So hopefully one day soon, maybe in the next week or so, I'll have some official announcements. But I have been, if I'm not at my day job and I'm building stuff, I'm doing DIY projects, I'm working on new things related to what you're used to seeing at Repulse, and much cooler stuff too. So that's just like a little hint preview, and more official announcements will be coming soon. But if you haven't seen me that much, it's because I'm building a lot in the background.
Fair enough.
Kind of skipped over me for just a second. I was just going to show my latest commission.
Oh,
do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Go for it.
Go to it.
So I had a customer a while back say his wife limited him to one saber purchase. So now he wants me to do a blaster. And with the Xeno coming out in the blaster blade, I originally wanted to do a Xeno install on this, but then he's like, no, I want some accent LEDs. So I haven't finished printing out the safety yet, but it's actually the kill switch. This is the gun from a really old, not old, but kind of B-list film called Oblivion, but cool pistol.
Oblivion
works
is
just
not
like a
B-list,
saber.
it's fantastic.
Yep. But anyway, so it works like a saber. It's just a Profi in there. Weapon armed is the blade on. That would be your ignition. And then you have your blaster. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Nice.
That's cool. Nice.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool one.
I like that. Nice.
That's cool.
That would work well with Ezra's saber.
Yes.
staple gun.
Yes, yes, it would.
Good call.
Nice. I like that.
Jim, what are you working on?
Oh, you know me, bits and bobs, this and that. Who knows?
You got some nice new merch. You got your '80s thing going, and you've always got some videos that you got new content coming. I'm sure.
Yeah, there's lots going on, man. You know, I'm doing a couple of logos and animated things for certain people.
Lucky them.
You know, a bit of that. Lucky people getting to deal with me on a daily basis. Also, like, yeah, obviously YouTube. I've got some stuff coming up. I'm doing. I've got some font reviews coming up. Non-universe font reviews. Personally, I'm working on 2 cosplays as well at the moment. I'm desperately trying to finish my Ahsoka-inspired Mandalorian costume.
Ooh.
Which is proving to be difficult because my ideas and my ability don't match at all. So yeah, that's coming along, and I'm working on a Jedi Master cosplay because everybody goes Jedi Knight. Everybody has the Jedi Knight robes, and I'm like, hey man, I can go a bit higher than that. So I'm going full on Jedi Master with proper full on robes.
So would
Hopefully should be ready just after Christmas.
Would that be like a Tragruda Mandalorian, or would that be a Mandalorian with armor themed on her like shapes and color scheme and stuff
exactly
like that?
Exactly that. So
Okay.
I've made a helmet. It's not in here. It's in my other room. But basically the Mandalorian helmet, it's very similar to the 332nd Clone Trooper. So the top is orange with the stripes, and then the cheek pieces are blue and the back's blue. But then when you get down to the costume, it's very orange and dark blue with like stripes on the shoulder pads.
Mm-hmm.
Like
almost like a 332nd that went bounty hunter after the Clone Wars.
Kinda. I've got an entire backstory for the character because, well, when you can't build the thing, you just sit there and think about what they are. Do you know what I mean? But it's basically a bounty hunter that came across Ahsoka Tano at some point, and they had a couple of missions together, and he was inspired by her, and he does have a lightsaber because he found one on one of his many missions. Doesn't know how to use it properly. It's not all the bells and whistles. It's just a very basic lightsaber. But I had to have a lightsaber with it because I'm like, it's got to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not a Force user or anything like that. He just so happens to have a lightsaber.
Nothing wrong with those characters.
Kind of inspired, like, you know, the original Stormtroopers were all supposed to have lightsabers. Yeah. That sort of thing.
Oh, the Macquarie ones.
Yeah.
Mike.
Hey guys.
Got new reviews and videos coming?
Yeah, I got to get back into that. So school started in September, and that's kind of been, you know, messing with me, homework, all that. Got little guys that I gotta take care of. So I've been kind of slowing me down, but I've been doing some gaming. I've been doing, like, you know, occasional font review, something like that. I've been a little bit less active in the channel, but yeah, I hope to start back up, and you know, I want to put some new fonts on this Fallen Saber I have over here, and get back into it. Start with that.
Killer?
That is not, but that's the that's from the POC store. The single hilt that they have there. Yeah. So it's pretty good. Shadow Tech, actually, Aaron, he has the Ogdo Killer. I believe it's uninstalled, but yeah, trying to get back into that stuff. And I kind of I'll steal from Aaron a little bit. Probably, I was just considering. I was thinking about it the last couple of days. Some cosplay. All right, so I have a huge freaking green screen. Maybe mess around with that somehow, and I want to maybe get into that. I used to maybe do it back in the day, but nothing crazy. But yeah, I want to get into that. I think that could be cool. I don't know who I'm going to do or what I'm going to do, but it's a thought, just to expand options, things like that. I mentioned to the guys before, I was messing around with some sound fonts, obviously because of the whole kids and back to school thing kind of slowed me down, but I want to get back into that as well. So definitely some projects I want to tackle. And yeah, that's the one. Yeah, awesome.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I have no like wires on mine or anything like that, but I want to do that.
Pro tip: if you're ever doing an Ogdo killer, you should solder the ends of your wires. They still look spiky, but they don't poke you in the hand as much.
That's a good tip.
And they don't fall off as they fray.
That's what I did with my Corbanth Fallen Order V2.
Nice.
I don't know if I can get that on there or not, but
dang.
The wires that are on there, just 28 gauge wire and then some brass rods.
Very nice.
And I actually took my Zippo lighter to the wires to kind of give it like a burned and singed kind of look to it. It's not really focusing on camera, but yeah.
Oh my God! Look at all you guys. Jeez Louise.
Nice. Well, no, these are more advanced.
This was a V1, so I had to do all the damage myself.
Oh wow! Yeah, the V1.
I also added some circuit board pieces to the pommel. Add a little more to it.
Bro, that is hella authentic.
It was 2 round before.
So yeah, it turned out really nice.
Nice.
I love how people seriously have taken their Fallen Order sabers and they just kind of do their own thing to it, but the damage is yet still the same. Like, I'm glad they're not all the same. You know, and all of the damage is real. So I dig that so much. Jeremy, you're up. What is your upcoming plans, future projects, stuff going on?
Well, right now I just finished this one, my Zane Carrick saber.
Nice.
Finished it up for a buddy of mine. It's got a prism.
Nice.
So I have to do a few things to fix the swings on it, but it still works nice. I wanted to keep the one button switch on this side, so you never see the other side of it. So I added a little switch box with a simple button on it for the second button, because they never show that side off in the comics. So yeah, that
really
one
cool
is
installer idea the other day when I was doing it with my Obi-Wan.
This one here I've been working on as well.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
This is a personal saber right now. This is actually one of Will Ailing's Crimson Clads that I got from him. I decided to add some chain pieces, this brass chain, to the pommel, to the emitter, and to the pommel. And I've got wood veneer on all the gaps. And so the other thing I've got on order is because of the way the pommel is, you can put something in there. And so I have a little Yoda skull coming that I'm going to put in the back here to definitely, I don't know why my inspiration was kind of like Hellraiser meets Mad Max type of thing to this. So I kind of wanted I wanted very evil looking, so skulls and chains and all that sort of stuff. It's already a beast of a looking saber, but Will does amazing. This is an amazing saber from Will. So, but yeah, it's just going to be my first Profi saber, personal Profi. So I've actually got part of it already set up. I pre-wired the switch, and I still have to do the battery, but the Profi's in there just for test fit. So yeah, this will be I can't wait to get this one installed and have my personal Profi on my list of stuff. So other than that, I'm just working on sabers. I plan on making a KR flagship into an Orges Din saber, kind of following Benji's one that he did. I got a few parts that I want to do. It's gonna be a lot more weathered though, looking. But I got a couple flagships around that I'm just gonna work on my own. Yeah. Other than that, I ordered some parts for my Revan Crystal Chamber Saber. I got another display Crystal Chamber Saber I'm working on, and some empties. Eventually, will be going back up for sale. So, other than that, yeah, that's what I got.
There you go. That's my helmet.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Nice.
dude, that's awesome.
So yeah, so that part's done. That bit's come out quite well. The whole shebang. That's looking good. It's just the rest of the costume that's an absolute pain in my rear end, shall we say? Because I don't have a 3D printer, so I'm like everything's in foam, which is easy to start with, hard to finish, because you've got to try and make it look like metal. Not easy.
Yep.
Not easy. But keeps me out of trouble, doesn't it?
That's why I follow Punish Props a lot. That's the guy I watch his videos. Even if I've seen it before, I put him on in the background just to have him for just painting tips, smoothing out lines tips, all that sort of stuff. I love that sort of thing. Just off in the background, listening to, just tips. I don't know why it is. Like do it yourself tips have been my go-to video of choice now. Just for painting and making weathering and anything that it can help improve what I do. I love watching that sort of stuff.
I'm more or less the same way with like voice acting. I can do the same thing with that. I love voice acting. I guess Jordan, answer your question, and I'll go last. I wish I did more than just what I do. I mean, first and foremost, I'm a font maker. I've been a font maker since 2015. It's really the only service I provide to this community, besides hosting a live stream.
You're a freaking awesome friend. Just
well,
FYI.
that too. Thanks, man. But I like doing this. I've enjoyed hosting this show, and it's a great escape, and it allows me to be with my real Saber fam, #RealSaberFam. Everybody on this screen has been there for me more than twice at one point or another, and they're just really great people. But without giving away too much, there are some things that are going to be happening with me and my brand in the next couple of months. There is going to be an official announcement probably near the end of December. It's a pretty major change, but I mean, if you're going to cut me down to brass tacks, what people look for out of font makers is fonts. What people look for out of font makers is new content. If I'm not bringing new content, then I'm not bringing anything worth looking at. But in all seriousness, I can spoil and I can say there is new content coming. The new content is already mid. I mean, I've been working on it for a little while now. And I mentioned this in our last stream, and I'm going to be super, super, super short when I say it right now. I have worked my ass off to get my health back into check, to get my A1C where it needs to be, to get my head to where I'm not worrying about what's going in here or back here or whatever, so that I can sit down and make fonts. If my health is not there, I can't make fonts. If I'm not centered in my real life, I can't be centered in Saberland. Period. I'm finally where I need to be. I'm 0.1 points away from not being diabetic anymore. That's
awesome.
Miraculous.
That's amazing.
So,
oh yeah,
I've gone from a 300-pound full type 2 diabetic to down 4 pant sizes, A1C under control, blood sugar under control, just about where I need to be. And it's enough to where I can sit down at this computer and do what I got to do. So there is new content coming. I'm not going to put one at a time out and just be like, okay, then this month is this fun. No. no, I'm coming out of the gate strong in 2022. There's lots of things fixing to happen with my brand, and it's time. It's time, and new content is coming from me, and it's been a long time coming, and I'm very, very, very. It's not even the content that makes me happy. I'm happy to bring the content to people, but what makes me happiest is that I am finally in a place in life and in health to be able to say, okay, this is all coming from a good place. I can sit here and do this stuff and not have to worry about something. That's a really freeing, liberating feeling, gentlemen, let me tell you, is that when you can create and not have to worry about some dumb shit in your life, it's a good feeling. It really is. So not only is new content coming, it's coming from a great place and a very healthy place. And I'm very, very excited to burst out of the 2022 gate strong. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Awesome.
I'm excited to see what you put out, and I'm excited to learn what I can from listening to your fonts as well.
Dude, my door's open anytime. Hit me up. We can chill. You're always invited to come back and join us. And look at who's on the screen, dude. You got Syndicate over here, who, in my opinion, is top tier, god tier font creation. He's not my competition. We shoot ideas back and forth with each other every day. You know what I'm saying? Mike down here, he creates fonts. I share stuff with him. It's not a secret, to me. I mean, there's most font makers in the community source from the same freaking place. You already know that. But the little tips and the little tricks and the little tools of the trade, we talk about that stuff. It's cool.
The very last big point, I almost forgot about this earlier. I just want to bring this up as an installer and someone who's dabbled a little bit in font making as well. Guys in the community, make sure that we're supporting our font makers. Don't go off and pirate them. Don't share them. I've had people ask me, hey, I'm already paying you $400 to install your saber. Will you just, throw these fonts? I know you have them anyway. And
no.
Most of the time,
freak no.
Yeah. Most of the time, these people, they don't understand a lot of the time. They just require a little bit of education. Like, no, there are people putting tons and tons of hours into this. Like, this is an artist type thing. They're like, oh, I didn't get that. Like, I just thought it was sounds from the movie. And that's okay. It's when they get belligerent that I actually made a font to mess with people. It's the hum is the most annoying sound in the world from Dumb and Dumber. I release it for free every April 1st. But yeah, if they pester me, I just throw that their way and just like, here you go, bud.
Nice.
Exactly.
But yeah, make sure we support our font makers.
And to you as well, Jordan, we appreciate you. We appreciate what you do in our community. We appreciate that you've, I wanted to give you an opportunity to be in the forefront tonight. There's going to be many, many people on Monday who go to work. They got free time, or people at the bench tomorrow night. The show doesn't get a lot of initial views at nighttime, but man, does it get a lot of reviews.
Right on.
And that's a great thing. So people come back and they see what we're talking about, and they can engage with you in the days and weeks to come, which is great.
Yep. And
did
guys,
you have any final thoughts before I take it to after party?
Just on that last bit, to show your installers, if you want them to install fonts for you, screenshot your receipt, send it to your installer, and installers, if just as a good show of faith every once in a while, maybe once a month, send that font maker, send them a receipt or a screenshot of that receipt, just saying like, hey, I'm asking for these, and just kind of support each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, dude, listen, I want to say thank you on behalf of all of us for being with us tonight. We appreciate you accepting the invite and coming on and talking with the community.
Again.
Dude, I extend this invite to all of my guests. Every couple of weeks when we get on and do this, if you just want to get on the screen and chill with us, you're absolutely welcome to. Yep. At this juncture, my peeps, we are going to take this into after party mode where we just kind of unwind and chill and utilize language that we otherwise wouldn't use on the screen in front of your kids. So From all of us to all of you, we hope that as you enter into this holiday season, you are continuing to be safe. Always continue to support the folks here in the community to be a community. May the fours be with you always, and we will see you on the next stream. Y'all, take care.
Bye.